We'll have highlights from the Veterans Day ceremony.
We'll honor our vets at Unite for Troops.
And we'll meet an Irving firefighter who's an American hero.
As we celebrate Veterans Day about town.
Hello everyone and welcome to About Town. I'm Marie Rame.
And I'm Kathy Whiteman, and I am so happy to have Marie with us again this week for a really special show celebrating our troops. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here to get ready for the holidays with details on this year's holiday extravaganza.
We'll also have news on Blue Christmas and this year's production of The Nutcracker.
As always, we would love to hear from you. Please let us know about a community event you'd like to promote on the show or a story you'd like to see.
You can email us at ictn@cityofirving.org or connect with us on social media. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you.
We'll kick off the show at Veterans Memorial Park with highlights from the annual Veterans Day program.
This is our annual Veterans Day celebration, and today it happened to fall on November 10th, which is also the Marine Corps' birthday.
It was interesting for me to look at the history on this from two perspectives. One, John Danish always wants to go back to the beginning and talk about how things were started. And from another perspective, my father is a proud Marine and always has been.
My father served in the Vietnam War. My brother served about 26 years in the Army. He's still in right now, but this day is just super special.
Well, it's just great to bring everybody together to remember the people that have really made things happen for us as a country, and the fact that we have the freedoms we have, that we're able to have this great city, and we're able to recognize those individuals who made the ultimate sacrifice, and to thank those many men and women who have dedicated their lives for us and are here today. Give them an opportunity to say thanks for your service and we appreciate you.
I never knew how important it was until I served myself, to be honest. I'll say the Ronald Reagan quote that's the reason why I joined the military, was he said that freedom isn't free. It doesn't run in our blood onto our children's blood. You know, it's something that we have to fight for. I try to instill this value and importance of this day in my children as well. I mean, they ask me if they fight zombies, so they haven't really comprehended it yet, but we come every year because I want this to be instilled into them, to honor the people who have served.
Veterans Memorial Park is located at 644 Rock Island Road.
Since 9/11, Porter's Army-Navy store has hosted Unite for Troops, a grassroots effort to honor our veterans and support the men and women currently serving our country. Here's a look at this year's event.
These veterans from the Irving VFW are making a stop at the annual Unite for Troops.
They do a motorcycle run on the same day, so they all meet at the VFW where their first stop. They come here, they roll in. It's required that they bring supplies for the troops in order to be in the run. Then they park the bikes, go drop everything off, stick around for a minute, and then they take off again.
The Irving VFW, along with the community, have come together outside of Porter's Army-Navy store in a day devoted to supporting our military.
We have three purposes. The first one is we collect supplies for our troops, and we ship them overseas. The second one is that we honor our veterans, and the third one is that we bring we the people together.
The event drew in the crowd with live music, food, vendor booths, and kid activities. But our troops weren't the only ones being acknowledged. After 71 years and 5 generations, Porter's Army-Navy store has become a staple in Irving. And the city has chosen to honor Steve and Cindy Porter and the rest of their family by naming a street sign after them.
Steve and Cindy Porter, Porter's Way.
It's so humbling. Who gets a street named after them? You know, I mean, what can you say? It's just amazing. Thank you so much.
We're both overwhelmed with it. I mean, off and on, we both cry.
Unite for Troops 2017 succeeded in making generous amounts of care packages for those serving overseas and recognizing those behind the cause.
When we connect with them while they're serving in the toughest times, there's less pieces to pick up when they come home.
Reminding us that even the smallest contribution can make all the difference. For About Town, this is Susan Konyab.
You can now support our troops year-long. Visit unitefortroops.com to learn more.
Irving Events has another great kickoff to the holiday season in the works.
Well, Jackie Madden is here with the details.
Great to see you. Now, I don't know how you are still standing up because you had an event today that you had to rush over from.
I did.
So the theme this year is really going to be a lot of fun for everybody. Tell us what it is.
We're excited about it. It's Christmas movies and soundtracks.
Oh, that's greatness. I can
Everybody
already
loves
hear.
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody loves
a lot of good stuff comes to my mind in terms of that. So you're encouraging everybody to find a particular movie and dress up and that kind of thing?
Movie cast, any portion of a movie that you want to bring to life. We really want a cinematic experience that's going through our parade procession.
Oh, you gotta love that.
Oh, I love it. Think about it.
Well, I mean, can people still get involved in the parade? Can
Oh,
they
yes,
register?
it's not too late. We're actually taking online applications until November the 25th.
Okay.
Oh,
We got
okay,
time.
good deal. You have
Oh,
time
yeah.
to get in there and come up with some great ideas and get registered. So that does not end the day. It's always a two-part day. You have a big stage show afterwards. What's happening this year?
Well, for the first time, we're going to feature the Irving High School Jazz Band, and we'll have dance performances from our local dance
nice.
schools. And we're going to have a montage of Christmas movies.
Oh my goodness.
So you're gonna see your favorite movie in this
And all the movie
collection.
lines.
Of
That's
course,
everybody loves movie
of course.
lines.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm
Yes.
My favorite.
Elf always pops into my
Exactly.
head, you know, when people say Christmas movies
So we're
now.
just gonna put you in a
Where is
special
this
place.
being held this year?
Yeah.
Well, the parade goes throughout the Irving Heritage District.
Okay.
And then the tree lighting ceremony and stage shows at Irving City Hall.
Okay.
Fantastic. Now, folks need to know where to park and should they bring their own chairs. Tell us some of those logistical details.
They can park at Irving City Hall, and they can also park at the South Dart Transit Station. And I would encourage them to bring some portable seating. We'll have seating, but it'll be limited. So a nice blanket and lawn chairs would be encouraged as well.
And you got something kind of nice. You got hot chocolate, and everybody knows that they can anticipate that hot chocolate, but what else is happening?
Well, we're going to have complimentary Christmas meals, and they're going to be sponsored by In-N-Out.
This sounds incredible, Jackie. I'm not surprised, of course. So when is everything happening?
Everything is going to kick off on Saturday, December the 2nd, and we'll immediately after the parade, we'll go to City Hall and have a fantastic holiday stage show. We're going to have fireworks, and we're going to have a special open house inside of City Hall.
That's fantastic. So people can go into City Hall and kind of find out what are they going to be
They can
looking
find
for?
out everything that they want to about the different departments at City Hall.
Oh, good.
And it's just going to be an excellent way for them to meet our employees and for us to be there to answer questions and for them to actually learn more about our programs and services.
That is absolutely
That's very
wonderful.
interesting.
Yeah, that's great. So folks, go to irvingevents.org for the specific details. You can find out what the parade route's going to be. You can find out what time everything is happening. And you can also put in your application to be in the parade.
Right.
Don't want to miss this one. Scott Churchill returns to the show with a look at the new documentary, Jane, which chronicles the groundbreaking work of anthropologist Jane Goodall.
Day after day, in the sun and the wind and the rain, I climbed into the hills. This was where I was meant to be.
Just released this past weekend at the Angelica Film Center at Mockingbird Station, Jane is one of the best documentary films of the year. Set to a rich orchestral score from the legendary composer Philip Glass, this biopic offers an unprecedented intimate portrait of Jane Goodall, a trailblazer who defied all odds to become one of the world's most admired conservationists, and in 2002 named by Secretary General Kofi Annan as a United Nations Ambassador of Peace. The documentary is pieced together from over 100 hours of newly discovered video recorded by world-renowned nature photographer Hugo van Lawick, sent by anthropologist Louis Leakey to Gombe to document Jane's amazing work in her early years at the Gombe Stream National Park along Lake Tanganyika in East Africa. With no training whatsoever, Jane was chosen by Leakey because he was counting on her to use her own common sense and innate genius for observation and description to hopefully make discoveries that might change our understanding of ourselves and of our own evolution. Over the course of more than half a century, Jane Goodall has done more to expand our knowledge of animals living in the wild than perhaps any other researcher. Two of her colleagues, Diane Fossey and Biruta Gildakis, were sent by Leakey to Rwanda and Borneo, respectively, to study the mountain gorilla and orangutan. But Jane's discoveries rocked the scientific world when she discovered that chimpanzees not only use natural objects as tools, but also modified objects to actually create tools. When Leakey learned of this, he famously remarked, "Now we either must redefine man, redefine tool, or include chimpanzees as man." Of course, the aim was not to say that chimpanzees were human beings, so Jane's major discovery, which took place during her first 6 months in the field, became the first breakthrough which led to the development of the entire field today known as animal cognition. Are people smart enough to know how smart animals are? Thanks to Jane Goodall, the answer is yes. The colors are lush in these newly restored images, many of which show Jane as a very young woman playfully flirting with her photographer companion, who was soon to propose marriage to her. The musical soundtrack, composed by Philip Glass, creates an almost hypnotic ambiance that draws the viewer into deep contemplation of the stunning images and dramatic revelations of Jane's careful observation. Most striking is the way that Jane eventually became a participant observer in her work at Gombe. Unable to observe very much from a distant hill looking down on the valley, Jane eventually wandered down and into the jungle itself, at first hidden in the undergrowth of the forest, but eventually observing the chimpanzees in the open, just feet away from them. This never-before attempted method of observation in the wild has led a whole new generation of ethologists to discover an entirely new world of animal behavior. Indeed, today's cable channels like National Geographic and Discovery owe their very existence to the popular response to Jane's earliest video documentaries. This is a film for the whole family, a tribute not only to an amazing woman, Jane Goodall, but to the life of our planet.
Check your local listings for showtimes and theater information. Irving Police and Firefighters host the annual Blue Christmas Drive.
Becky Fan has details for this year's events.
Becky, it is great to see you. I am ready for some chili, but let me not jump the gun. Let me ask first, when does the toy drive start and how can viewers help?
Toy drive actually starts, we put our signs out right after Thanksgiving. All fire stations will have signs out, including our new 12 station. They actually have to have one in front and in back because it's so big. But the police departments are also going to be collecting toys. And then we have several of our corporations that are doing toy drives for us, which really is going to help us a lot.
Absolutely. So let me just make sure, so it's a new unwrapped toy. And are you looking this year for any particular ages or just the whole gamut?
The whole gamut. We have, last year we ended up with a lot of babies. And so we do babies all the way up to 16. We had a little problem. We actually had to go out and purchase more toys for the kids, 10 through 13. Boys and girls.
Is that consistent? Like, is that every year? Is it that age group? Or
No, it used to be the older kids, 14 through 16.
Right.
We were hurting on that, but this last 2 years, in fact, we've had the younger kids that we just didn't have stuff for.
And this year, do you know,
where you need to fill in the blanks? So I guess money.
Yeah.
You know, donate money.
If you donate money, we will be out purchasing toys.
Right.
We've got a good contact with Walmart, Walgreens, Dollar Store, Dollar Tree. I mean, they have
So
all
I'm thinking gift card or Walmart card or cash donation.
Yes, all of that will help us in getting what we need to be able to take care of the kids.
That is great.
Well, my favorite part. You do a lot of fun things, but you do a chili cook-off. Could you tell us more about that?
December the 2nd is our chili cook-off. We've missed 2 years because of weather.
Oh.
We're praying for excellent weather this year.
So this is an outdoor event.
It's an outdoor event, and it does make a difference, but we've been blessed in the past to be able to do 6 of them previously. We've lost out on 2. This will be our official seventh to do. We have bounce house, face painting, cakewalk, DJ. Of course, the chili cooks are all there.
Well, how do you become a chili cook? Like, I kind of want to do that.
I've
always wanted to do that.
We are sanctioned through through CASI, which is the Chili Appreciation Society International.
Well, who knew?
That is your professional chili cook.
Okay.
They're all at Tolingua right now.
Okay.
And so they're kind of excited about coming back because they could already start gathering points up. Then you also have the novice. Now, the novice fixes chili. They can put beans in theirs. They can use elk meat, any kind of meat. It's just anything goes on a novice.
Okay.
It all has to be
sounds
cooked.
like your spot.
I know. I'm so on this.
Can be cooked.
I've
Has
always
to be
wanted to do
cooked
this.
on site. We have a turn-in of 1 o'clock for the chili cooks, and they judge the CASI and then they judge the novice. But we also do beans. So we have people that come out and cook their beans. I guess they soak them the night before. I've never really worked.
Okay, so chili and then just a bean.
Pinto beans.
Pinto beans.
Or navy beans, I guess. I don't know. I've never judged the beans, so I really don't know what all they do have.
Well, I can tell you because I've been there a couple of years
right.
and it is so much fun. But in addition to that, you got the pancake breakfast. Tell me quickly when that is because we got to wrap it up.
Pancake breakfast is on December the 9th at Plymouth Park Baptist Church. I believe the address 1720 North Story Road. It starts at 9 o'clock. You get pancakes, bacon, sausage. John Shingle from our CID Police Department makes waffles for the kids. He makes Mickey Mouse pancakes for the kids.
John is the best.
$10 for the full meal, including your coffee and your drinks. And then if you're under 12 years of age, it's going to be $5. We have door prizes, raffles, silent auction, which we have at both our events. Yeah. And we have a good time. Santa Claus comes on the fire truck and entertains.
And it just starts it out right.
It just starts it out
does.
right. It's just a good time.
So folks, for the details on where you can drop off toys or I guess cash or gift cards and the dates and times for both of these events, please go to Irving Police and Fire bluechristmas.org.
This fall, Irving firefighter Lieutenant Eric Smith was honored at the Veterans Memorial Park for his service to our country. Here's a look back at the day's events.
The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Navy Cross to Corporal Eric M. Smith, United States Marine Corps.
Irving firefighter Lieutenant Eric Smith received the Navy Cross for his extraordinary heroism during Operation Iraqi Freedom. On April 6, 2004, Smith's platoon was ordered to reinforce a squad under attack. While en route, his team was ambushed.
Employing machine guns from the platoon's 7-ton truck, Corporal Smith coordinated and led a counterattack against the insurgent force and relieved the besieged squad.
Smith received the Silver Star for his service in 2006 and joined the Irving Fire Department, where he serves as a lieutenant and paramedic. He recently learned his medal was being upgraded to the Navy Cross, second only to the Congressional Medal of Honor.
Honored and humbled to be able to be here today, first and foremost, and then to have all these great guys with me, guys from my past, guys from my present, people that I work with. They honor me with this ceremony today. The City of Irving, the mayor and the City Council allowing us to use the Veterans Memorial Park for this ceremony. I can't think of a better venue. So, like I said, I'm honored and humbled.
He had a choice to go to Quantico to receive this medal. He chose to do it right here in Irving. And not only in Irving, but at our Veterans Park.
Just a proud day for the city. We're very fortunate that in addition to his military service, he's now joined us for our fire service.
This is Kathy Whiteman reporting.
Another side note to this story is that Lieutenant Smith was one missed phone call away from not learning about his honor. Here's how it all happened.
Irving firefighters are no strangers to braving the heat of battle. But for first responder Eric Smith, that bravery began when he enlisted in the United States Marine Corps.
The Marine Corps it set the foundation for who I am. 3 days after graduating high school, went off to the Marine Corps. They really coached me into becoming a man. To be able to come home and be able to come here to the city of Irving and serve the community here, it's awesome.
Back in September, Eric Smith was awarded the Navy Cross for his valor in combat during Operation Iraqi Freedom.
The President of the United States takes pleasure in presenting the Navy Cross to Corporal Eric M. Smith, United States Marine Corps.
It was a moment of honor and respect, but it was also a moment that almost didn't happen, after Lieutenant Smith's mother was suspicious of the phone call that she received telling her the news.
I love telling the story. She doesn't love it so much. She's standing off camera kind of worried about this talk.
Okay, so I think first I had a recording on my answering machine, and it was somebody that said, this is so-and-so from the Marine Corps, and we're trying to get in touch with Eric Smith. And I thought, why can't they get in touch with him, and how did they find me? Because I've moved several times since he was in the Marines, and I just thought it was a scam because I get lots of phone calls that are scams.
About 30 minutes later, she gives me a call. She was, we were having dinner at the station, so I wasn't able to answer the call, but I call her right back. And she says, I remember what it was. There was a gentleman said he was from the Marine Corps Recruiting Command that would like to get a hold of you. They wanted to upgrade your award. And so it was kind of interesting. You know, she's like, I don't know if it's real though. I think it may be a telemarketer. And I don't know, Mom, you know, if you got the information, I'll call.
So he called the number at 10:30 at night, and he said, Mom, that's the Marine Corps headquarters phone number. And I was like, oh my goodness. So I think that he probably didn't sleep that night and called them at 8 o'clock the next morning, and he called me later and said, it's real. They're gonna, review my award, and it's possible it might be upgraded to a Navy Cross. And I was like, oh my gosh, and I thought it was all a scam the whole time.
The award ceremony at Irving's Veteran Park was worth the wait. It just goes to show you that sometimes the voice on the other end of the line really does ring true, and it might be the sound of opportunity calling. This is Susan Kamyab reporting.
Congratulations to Lieutenant Eric Smith, and thank you for your service.
Momentum Dance Company's annual production of The Nutcracker is the official start of our holiday season.
Jacqueline Forshare is here with the details.
It is always wonderful to see you.
It's always great to be here.
You know, and every time I think, okay, it's time for the Nutcracker, I hear in my head it's the most wonderful time of the year. So yeah, it really is.
It is, and I like our early jump start. You know, you finish your Thanksgiving dinner and then you know that you've got a choice of 3 days to see the best production.
Absolutely. So you've got a lot of changes and a lot of new faces this year.
Very, very different show this year, but that always adds a note of excitement. Our Snow Queen Forever, Gianna, is married now and expecting her first baby. She will still be in the show. She and her husband are in the party scene.
Yeah.
And so we have a new Snow Queen this year because the principals have enough to do. Mm-hmm. So we hired in Sarah Austin from Avant Chamber Ballet. She'll be our Snow Queen. She's gorgeous. And then we have a new Sugar Plum also this year. Emily Dixon Abel, she just got married and she's dancing with Shay Johnson again. Also, both of them from Avant Chamber Ballet. So it's nice to have a good professional company locally that we can hire from.
Or draw from, right?
Yes, yeah, and our wonderful Drosselmeyer, Bruce, is unable. He's performing in another production. A good friend of his is going to be our Drosselmeyer this year, Chris Edwards, and he has been an absolute delight to work with. So lots of new faces, and it's got the dancers moving at a different ability too, having the changes in their on their toes, if you'll excuse the pun.
I like it.
Well, for people like me, I mean, we're going to see some of the same, some of our favorite people that have always performed.
Absolutely, our principals, and they pretty much, I give them a little leeway, you know, if they would prefer to do one role or the other, but the standard roles, Lindy is forever the Dewdrop, and she and Misty are the Snow Princesses. Either one of them could have done the Snow Queen, but I didn't want to break up my team. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, the dancers that have remained strong year after year, but I do get to change the casting so the dancers don't get stuck doing the same roles every year.
Yeah, and that's really good. And I mean, you spend so much time putting this together every year.
We do. The children, of course, take the most time because the company can go into any role at any time. but they still have to be rehearsed. And we have the auditions in late August and start that first weekend, the next weekend after I've done the casting with the children and the company. Our first day was we have kind of a free-for-all. Everybody gets to try every single role, even though I've done the company casting. It's just a fun day to get them jump-started in it when it's 100 degrees outside.
Do you ever change anybody? Like, do you ever do that? And
Oh,
then,
absolutely.
do you? Okay,
It's good for them. The dancers' strengths are always at an optimum, but I can also use them in different ways if they get to change up the roles.
Right,
Oh,
right.
that's great.
So, well, when is it, and how do we get tickets?
Our shows are always the weekend after Thanksgiving. It's November 24th and 25th, 7:30, and November 26th at 1:30. And following that is our Sugar Plum Fairy reception. Some of the dancers will go out in their costumes, and the kids get to meet them and get autographs. And then the world famous candy bar that is demolished by the end of the reception.
Well, this is my first year to take my 6-year-old granddaughter to this.
Oh, she will
love super excited
it,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, that is going to be
fun.
so much fun. Thank you so much for being
Welcome.
here.
Thank
Folks,
you.
the way you get tickets is to call 972-252-ARTS. Don't miss this year's Nutcracker. We'll see you there. The Irving Art Association takes a walk on the wild side with their annual juried animal art competition. Here's a look at this year's show on display in the Irving Art Center foyer gallery through November 26th, and a list of other wildly popular things to do about town. And here are some other holiday-inspired events happening about town. The Irving Art Center presents Mistletoe, a new musical performance on December 6th at 7 p.m. and December 7th at 9:30 a.m. in Carpenter Hall.
The annual Irving Art Center open house is Friday, December 8th at 5:30 p.m. and it features a concert by Grammy Award winner Dan Zanes.
The Irving Symphony presents their Christmas concert on Saturday, December 9th at 7:30 p.m. in Carpenter Performance Hall.
And the new Philharmonic Orchestra brings Dreams for the Holidays to Carpenter Hall on Sunday, December 10th at 3:30 p.m. For tickets and information about these events, call 972-252-ARTS. And that wraps up this edition of About Town. Thanks for joining us.
Please be sure to tune in next time when we'll bring you a look at Live to Lead and the Irving Schools Foundation's Legacy Gala Celebrate America.
We'll also bring you up to speed on the 2017 Racers Reunion.
We'll leave you tonight with a look at Ms. Mature Irving 2017 in performance at this year's pageant. For About Town, I'm Kathy Whiteman.
And I'm Marie Rame. Have a great evening, About Town.
Walter, Walter, lead me to the altar, and I'll show you where I'm tattooed. Don't look the goods about no longer. My old age pension's nearly due. Walter, Walter, lead me to the altar. It's either the workhouse or you. Oh dear, and I've lost me Yankee. Oh no, there it is.